Exercise 24 in your workbook or ebook. If you don't have one, you are welcome to download the link to the exercise in the description box below. All right, Miss C. Fitzgerald owns cards by Claire. These are her check payments for September 2020. You can fill that in. Record the transactions in the payments journal for September 2020. Right, the first transaction is on the 2nd, and it reads as follows. Now remember that what I said, these are all your transactions have been written out in a sentence. Remember what I said, if you had a check counterfoil, the actual check counterfoil pasted into your books, it will take up so much space. So that's why they've actually written the transaction out in words. All right, so but in your mind, you just pretend that you're looking at a check counterfoil. Issued a check 709 for cardboard and paper that's allocated to material costs, 350 Rand to CC paper. Right, so the date is the 2nd. The check number is 709. The payee, the person's name that appears on the check, is CC paper. Sorry. The amount of the check is 350 Rand. When you hear check, you just think bank, all right? Because that money, it's equivalent to cash because it comes right out of your bank account. And we allocate that transaction to material costs. Do we have it at the top here? Yes, we do. So we fill in 350 Rand over there. Next transactions on the 4th, paid C&A for ribbon, 300 Rand. We've allocated that to material costs and we paid by check. So the transactions on the 4th, check number is the next one. Remember, they are in chronological order, so it'll be check number 710. The payee is C&A for the amount of 300 Rand, and we're allocating that transaction to material costs. We have it at the top here, so we fill in our 300 Rand. Now I want you to explain the difference between material costs and packaging material. Now you'll see in the next transaction we talk about buying envelopes and plastic sleeves. Now you might think that that would be allocated to packaging material, but let's just look at it a little bit. When you buy a card at C&A or anywhere else, it comes with an envelope in a plastic sleeve, all right? So that is her product. That is what she needs to make her product, and those are called material costs. Whatever it costs to make the product is material costs, all right? Packaging material is what protects the material, the product, usually when we are distributing it. All right, so let's have a look. Issued a check to B-Box for envelopes and plastic sleeves. We've allocated that to material cost as well because she's manufacturing cards, and that is what is needed to make her product complete. All right, so their date is the 5th. Let's write the 5th together. The check number, the next one is 711. It is issued to B-Box for the amount of 700 Rand, and that is what comes out of our bank account, and then the other account that is affected will be your material costs again, 700 Rand. All right, let's have a look on the 7th. Issued a check to R. Ryan for rent expense. The two accounts affected are the bank and rent expense. So let's have a look. Your next transaction is on the 7th. Your check number follows on chronologically, so it'll be 712. The payee is R. Ryan for the amount of 1,500 Rand, the value of the check. Do we have rent expense account up at the top here? No, we don't. So under sundry accounts, we actually we write it in, we open one up, rent expense, check your spelling, for the amount of 1,500 Rand. Next, on the 8th, issued a check to Ekurhuleni Municipality for water and electricity. Right, so the two accounts that are affected are bank and water and electricity. Let's have a look. So the date is the 8th, the check number is 713. Erkuleni, all right, for the amount of 500 Rand. Do we have water and electricity at the top? No, we don't. So we open one up under sundry accounts. And the amount is 500 Rand. Next, on the 9th, cashed a check for 900 Rand for wages. The two accounts are bank and wages. So let's have a look. So the date is the 9th, the check number is 714. How do we get cash out of the bank? By using a check. Right, so remember when we have the check, it says pay to. So now we're not going to write wages. We're not going to pay to wages. We're going to write the word cash. So when we, if I had to write out a check and I wanted cash to pay wages at the office, I will then give them to the check to my assistant. She'll go to the bank. They'll see that it's written out for cash, and they will issue her the cash. All right, she'll bring it back to the office, and we'll then pay the wages. So the details for the payee would be cash. All right, cash, not wages. Then the amount was for 900 Rand. Do we have wages? No, we don't. So we open under sundry accounts, we open a wages account for the amount of 900 Rand. Next, on the 10th, cashed another check for personal use, 200 Rand. So now we know that the two accounts are bank and drawings. Now we have to cash a check again. So what will the details be on the check? And the details of the payee? You're right, cash. All right, so this is on the 10th, check number 715. The amount is for 200 Rand. Do we have a drawings account opened up? No, we don't, so we will open one under sundries account, drawings, for the amount of 200 Rand. Next transactions on the 29th, issued a check to CC Papers for cardboard, 300 Rand. And remember what we said, the cardboard is she's using to make the cards, so that that will be allocated to material costs. Whatever it costs to manufacture a product is called material costs. All right, so the date is the 29th, check number 716. The payee is CC Papers. For the amount of 300 Rand, and we have material cost columns, so we fill that in over there, 300 Rand. The next transaction is on the 30th. Issued a check to RS Supplies for envelopes, 200 Rand. Now remember, she needs the envelopes to complete her product, so we're going to allocate that to material costs. That's right, I can hear you shouting at me. All right, so who will you be your payee? Payee, RS Suppliers, for the amount of 200 Rand. You've got a material cost column, so you just fill in 200 Rand over there. Another transaction on the 30th, so you don't have to write the date again. Your check number will be 718. The payee is B Box, so let's write that in, B Box. And what happens there? Issued a check to B Box for boxes and bubble wrap, 700 Rand. So the two accounts that are affected are bank and packaging material. That's right. So the boxes and the bubble wrap gives us a clue that it is need for protection of the actual product. So that will be put under the packaging material column. All right. So B Box, the amount is 700 Rand. And that will be allocated eventually. Packaging material, 700 Rand. All right, so now as we did with the other transaction, now what I did forget, never forget to do this, I just did. So let's learn from my lessons, from my mistakes, right? Cash payments journal of Cards by Claire. So let's type that in, Cards by Claire. You'll lose marks if you don't fill this in. For what is the month? September. and it's the CRJ. September's the 9th month, so it's 09. All right. I don't want to lose you any marks over there. So now what you do, we've completed the cash payments journal, and what we need to do now is total the columns up. So remember what we do, we total up bank, and then we total up all the others. The sum of these 3 columns here should be equal to the bank. If it's not, then you can just go back and check. You may have left an amount out somewhere, and you'll be able to pick it up. And then once they are equal to each other, then you know you've actually done it correctly, and you will be able to submit this to your teacher. We're going to now do the effect of some of these transactions on the AOL. If you will follow with me, so we are looking at the effect of the transactions on the 5th and the 10th on the AOL. The source document we know are check counterfoils. All right, so we can fill that in. So let's go and have a look now at the transaction on the 5th. Issued a check to B Box for envelopes and plastic sleeves, 700 Rand. All right, so we remember now that the 2 accounts that are affected are bank and material costs, okay, 700 Rand. So let's go down the bottom here. So bank is an asset. What is happening when we pay money out of the bank account? It decreases. All right, the assets. When we pay money with a check, decreases the bank, therefore decreases assets, because bank is an asset. All right. Then we have packaging material costs, which is an expense, and an expense always decreases owner's equity. So that will also be minus 700 Rand. All right, let's have a look at the transaction on the 10th. Cashed a check for personal use, 200 Rand. The 2 transactions are bank. When you see check, it's always bank. And the other account was drawings. And drawings is an owner's equity account. Can you remember what the other owner's equity account is? Capital, that's right. Now we're dealing with drawings. So what happens is bank, we've written out the check, so the bank decreases by 200 Rand, by 700 Rand, sorry. Is it 700? Let's quickly just check. Personal use, 200 Rand, that's right, minus 200 Rand. And drawings is an owner's equity account, and drawings always decreases owner's equity, so it will be minus 200 Rand. All right, you can type or write in your name and your grade and hand it into your teacher. If you have the electronic version, you're welcome to press submit. I will show you how to do that quickly. Your teacher would have given you her email address, and in this way your teacher can mark your work for you. All right, mine is going to be opening up on Gmail. There, I found it under drafts, and then what you do, where it says recipients, you type in who you want to send it to, your teacher, and here you will see it's already attached, your activity that has been completed, and you'll press send. All right, we'll see you in the next exercise.